Dear students of BA Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3, at first a very warm morning to all of you. Now once again this Shakespearean clown is before you through the channel just to vex you, just to tease you. I hope you will bear this teasing, you will enjoy this Shakespearean clown once again, as you have been doing these days. I think from the month of April to this very day. Dear students, in my previous video, I had tried to discuss the rhetorics and the figures of speech. Rather, in that video, I had focused upon figure of speech and had tried to justify its use in the field of literary writing. I had tried to discuss its utility, what for they stand, what are the different uses of those figures of speech. And that very day, or in that very video, I had promised to all of you that some of the important or much used figures of speech will be discussed threadbarely, so that you might not feel any problem in understanding or enjoying a particular poem or a particular literary work of art. So in that series, today, at first, I want to discuss very regular figure of speech, which is often used, which is much used. This is the very common figure of speech, or these two figures of speech are very common in our day-to-day life. We use this figure of speech. Sometimes we are rebuked, we are scolded, and in that scolding, the person who scolds us use this figure. Sometimes our parents use us while appreciating us, while praising us, or while rebuking us, scolding us. In every field, every day, we use it knowingly or unknowingly. When someone says you, Sohan is an owl, Rohan is a donkey, Gita is a moon. How can Gita be a moon? How can Rohan be a donkey? How can Anand be an ass? How can someone be a serpent? So, in all these sentences, Gita is a moon, Ramesh is a donkey, Anand is an ass. there is the use of figure of speech. Sita sings like a nightingale. Rohan works like a donkey. Anand is as black as the coal. In all these sentences, figures of speech have been used. And those two figures of speech which are used here are very common, are very much known to you. Of course, you are right. Yeah, you are right. One is simile and the other is metaphor. These two figures of speech are used effortlessly. Now, what is a simile and what is a metaphor? Dear students, a simile is a figure of speech that shows likeness between two things or two actions in their general nature dissimilar. A simile is a figure of speech that shows likeness between two things or two actions in their general nature dissimilar. This word simile has its origin from the Latin word. The word simile comes from the Latin word similis, S-I-M-I-L-I-S, similis, in the sense of like, L-I-K-E. So this word simile comes to us through the Latin language, through the Latin word similis, which has its sense like. It means similis in the Latin is used in the sense of like. It means an explicit expression of likeness between two distinctly different things or actions. The point of similarity said to exist between two different objects or events is shown by the use of words, namely as so, or like. Now, dear friends, simile in Hindi it is called upma. In this figure of speech, or in both the figure of speech, you can say, in simile and metaphor, we compare. हम तुलना करते हैं. And you know, if you have to compare, you need two things. Without two things, there can't be any comparison. Therefore, here a simile is a figure of speech that shows likeness, samanta, that shows likeness between two things or two actions in their general nature dissimilar. This similarity, this likeness is shown or is indicated through as or like. So if you find in a sentence a comparison between the two things, and that comparison is indicated or denoted by the word as or like, you can easily say that there is a simile. If you take two things, A or B, A and B, so in simile, A is like B. A is like B. For example, my beloved is like a red rose. My beloved is like a red rose. यानी मेरी महबूबा, मेरी प्रेमिका एक लाल गुलाब की तरह है. Means she is as beautiful, as pretty as a red rose. Radha sings like a nightingale. It means the singing of Radha is melodious. As melodious as the singing or the song of a nightingale. Life is as fragile as a bubble. Here, bubble is very short-lived. It lives for a very short period, and after that it dies. And here, the shortness of life is being compared to the shortness of the bubble. Life is like a bubble. जिंदगी बुलबुला है. Life is like a bubble. Shortness of life is being compared here with the shortness of the bubble. I wondered, you might have read the Daffodils of William Wordsworth, and the very first line of that particular poem is, I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered. The poet is wandering, the poet is loitering, the poet is roaming here and there, wandering. He has the aimless walking, you can say. He has no goal, but simply he is walking, he is wandering. How is he wandering? He is wandering lonely as a cloud, बादल की तरह, बादल के जैसा, बादल के जैसे, बादल की तरह. Oh, my love is like a red rose, as I have told you. The child shows the man. The child shows the man as morning shows the day. Milton says this. The child shows the man as morning shows the day. कहते हैं ना कि जो बच्चा ब्रिलियंट होने वाला होता है, ब्रिलियंट होता है, तो पूत के पांव जो हैं वो पालने में ही पहचान लिए जाते हैं. तो चाइल्ड, एक बच्चा, शोज द मैन, उस बच्चे के बिहेवियर को रीड. इफ यू रीड द बिहेवियर ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर चाइल्ड, इट बिकम्स क्लियर व्हाट इज ही गोइंग टू बी इन फ्यूचर. सो द चाइल्ड शोज द मैन. वह बच्चा कैसा आदमी होगा, इसका पता बच्चे को देखने से ही पता चल जाता है. कैसे? ठीक वैसे ही जैसे एज मॉर्निंग शोज द डे. सुबह जब होती है तो देखने से उसको, उसके अध्ययन से, उसको देखने से यह पता चल जाता है कि आज का दिन कैसा होगा। बारिश होगी, इट विल रेन, और it will be a dry day, a very hot day, a very bright day, a sunny day. A room without books is like a body without soul. Cicero says this. A room without books, बिना किताब विहीन कमरा, रूम, ठीक वैसे ही होता है जैसे कि आत्मा विहीन शरीर, शरीर बिना प्राण के, शरीर बिना आत्मा के, जैसा होता है, ठीक वैसे ही एक रूम, एक कमरा बिना किताब के होता है। यानी प्राणहीन, बिना किताब के कोई कमरा प्राणहीन होता है, अर्थहीन होता है, महत्वहीन होता है। We are important till our body and soul are together. I am important to you till my body and soul are together. Once my soul is out, I will be of no importance to you, or I will be of no importance to anyone, even to my friends, even to my son, even to my wife, even to my relatives. And in a very short span of time, I will be cremated, I will be buried. So here, wherever you find that there is a comparison, and that comparison is denoted or indicated by as or like, there is simile. Now, we should come to metaphor. Metaphor is nothing but metaphor is an expanded simile. The word metaphor comes to us through French from the Greek meta in the sense of change or transfer, and pharaoh having the meaning of I bear, B-E-A-R, I bear or I carry. Thus, etymologically, it signifies the transfer of name of descriptive term to an object to which it is not strictly applicable. Now, in a very easy language, I will try to make you grasp or understand this figure, that is metaphor. You must know that this word metaphor has its Greek origin, where meta, M-E-T-A, meta is used in the sense of change or transfer, and pharaoh is used in the meaning of I carry or I bear. This figure of speech is also used for comparison. But as I have told you in simile, where if you have two things A or B, so in simile A is like B, but in metaphor A is B. यानी जिससे हम तुलना कर रहे हैं और जिसकी हम तुलना कर रहे हैं, the thing or the person we are comparing, and with the thing or the person with whom that particular thing or person is being compared are the same or have the same quality. In simile, they are not the same. There is the word like or as to denote that comparison, to indicate that comparison. But here A is B. In simile, A is like B. In metaphor, A is B. If we say life is like a dream, there will be simile. If we say life is as sweet as a dream, it will be simile. But the moment we say or I say life is a dream, it becomes metaphor. My love is like a red rose. Here, there is simile. But if I say my love is like a my love is a red rose, here is metaphor. All the world is a stage, Shakespeare says. In his poem Seven Ages, he says, all the world is a stage. पूरी दुनिया एक रंगमंच है. Bernard Shaw says, life is no brief candle for me. Or Cowper says, variety is the spice of life. Common example, the camel is the sheep of the desert. He is the pillar of the state. A more common example, Ram is a donkey. Anand is an ass. Lata Mangeshkar is a cuckoo. Means her voice is melodious. As the voice of the cuckoo. So Lata Mangeshkar is a nightingale. Lata Mangeshkar sings like a nightingale. It is a simile. Lata Mangeshkar is a nightingale. It is a metaphor. He is a lion. How can a man be a lion? But just to show his boldness, just to emphasize his boldness, his bravery, his stoutness, the writer, the author, the poet makes such use. He is a lion. The news was a dagger to my heart. Etc. So it is very easy, dear students, dear friends, it is very easy to understand in a particular poem or to find out simile and metaphor in a particular poem. These two figures of speech are much used. You will notice them, particularly in each poem, you can say, or in each literary work or literary writing. So in a nutshell, both these two figures of speech are used for the sake of comparison. They make the statement very beautiful. They add golden feathers to the statement. They provide weight to the statement. They beautify the statement. In simile, that comparison is indicated or denoted through the word like or as. In simile, A is like B. In metaphor, A is B. There is no use of as or like in metaphor, and both these two figures of speech are used for the sake of comparison. Now, next figure of speech, we should travel towards the next item, and this next figure of speech is climax. In Hindi, it is known as charam, climax, top. Climax is the arrangement of a series of ideas in order of increasing importance. Once again, I should read out the definition to you. Climax is the arrangement. क्लाइमेक्स एक अरेंजमेंट है, एक व्यवस्था है, ऑफ अ सीरीज ऑफ आइडियाज, विचारों का एक जो सीरीज है, क्रम है, उसको रखने की व्यवस्था है. कैसे भाई? इन ऑर्डर ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग इंपॉर्टेंस. यानी in this figure of speech we find various ideas, many ideas, and those ideas are arranged how? In the series of increasing importance. Series of ideas in order of increasing importance. This means जो कम important idea है, that will come first. After that, the other idea, which is more important than the previous one. Again, the other idea, which is more important than the previous one, and likewise, it goes on. Example: I came, I saw, I conquered. I came, मैं आया. I saw, मैंने देखा. I conquered, मैंने जीता. Now here three ideas are here. First, the coming one. Second, the watching one. Second, the seeing one. and the third one is conquering one. Now see the importance. First, less important. I came, मैं आया. ठीक है, आए आप. सेकेंड, I saw, मैंने देखा. मैं आया, मैंने देखा कि यहाँ के लोग कमजोर हैं. They are very weak. They are not united. I conquered, मैंने जीत लिया, मैंने इनको हरा दिया. तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आइडिया था हराने का. तो I came, I saw, I conquered. The next example is very vital and it will make you understand climax in a very, very nice way. And this line has been quoted from Bacon's Of Studies. Some books are to be tested. Bacon here categorizes the quality of books. And Bacon provides 3 categories of books. How? Just see it. Some books are to be tested, others swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. See how Bacon provides or how Bacon categorizes or according the books. According to Bacon, Francis Bacon, books are of 3 qualities. The first type of book, which is important but less important, it is tested only. इनका हम केवल स्वाद ले लेते हैं. Just like if you allow me to say, these books are चटनिया book. We just test it, just like as we test chutney, you can say. Just like Saras Salil and other comics or other things, you can say. Not so important. So some books are to be tested. This is first category of the book. The second category, others swallowed. Bacon says, second types of books, the second category of books are swallowed. हम उसको निगल लेते हैं. अब ऐसा नहीं घर जाके किताब निगलने लगिएगा आप लोग. निगलने का मतलब हुआ कि simply we parrot them, we learn them, we cram them like general knowledge. And the third and the best category, and some few to be chewed and digested. यानी कुछ किताबें ऐसी होती हैं which are read line by line, through which we go with utmost sincerity. We read them with great attention, paying great attention to them. We chew them. किताब चबाने का मतलब ये नहीं बंधुओं कि आप किताब चबाने लगिए. This means हम उसको ध्यान से पढ़ते हैं, मनन करते हुए पढ़ते हैं. And we not only we read them attentively or minutely, we try to implement the ideas which we find in those books in our lives also. अपने जीवन में उसको उतारने का प्रयास भी करते हैं. We not only chew them, केवल हम उनको चबाते ही नहीं हैं, we digest them also. यानी उसमें कही गई बातों को, the ideas which are expressed in those books, we try to copy them, we try to imitate them, we try to follow them, we try to do as has been told in those books to do. So now see, the best example of climax. Some books are to be tested, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Now, one more. It will be the last for today. And this figure of speech is anti-climax, just opposite to climax. Anti-climax, it is also known as bathos, B-A-T-H-O-S. This is the opposite of climax and signifies a ludicrous descent from the higher to the lower. In climax, we travel through the lower to the higher. क्लाइमेक्स में हम लोअर से हायर की तरफ बढ़ते हैं, बट इन एंटी क्लाइमेक्स वी go in reverse gear, you can say. We start from the higher and travel towards lower, and it causes laughter. It seems ludicrous, you can say, hasyaspad, hasyakar, and this figure is used only for the sake of humor, for the sake of laughter, you can say, for the sake of humor. हंसने के लिए, हंसने हंसाने के लिए इस फिगर का यूज किया जाता है, which is just opposite to the climax. Climax means lower to higher, and anti-climax, that means from higher to lower. Now see the example. There is a man, and it is told about him, he lost his wife. उसने अपनी पत्नी को खो दिया. He lost his wife, his daughter, his son, S-O-N, and his watch in one go. एक ही बार में उस व्यक्ति ने अपनी पत्नी को खो दिया, अपनी बेटी को खो दिया, अपने बेटे को खो दिया और अपनी घड़ी को खो दिया. The most important thing for the man was wife, he has lost that. The second one, daughter, he has lost that. Third one, son, lost that. Now what is the importance? If he has lost his watch, after losing his wife, his daughter, his son, what has he lost? किसी ने अपनी पत्नी खो दिया, बेटी को खो दिया, यानी बाल बच्चे को खो दिया, और आप कहिए कि जानते हैं उसकी पत्नी मर गई, बेटी भी मर गई, बेटा भी मर गया और उसकी घड़ी भी खराब हो गई. Next, one more example. True justice was dealt out to him. उसके साथ पूरा न्याय हुआ. True justice was dealt out to him. It means he got true justice. किसी व्यक्ति के साथ पूरा न्याय हुआ. क्या न्याय हुआ? Just try to listen to me. First came the execution. पहले फांसी हो गई. That man was hanged till death. Then the investigation. जब उसको फांसी पर चढ़ा दिया गया, जब उसके प्राण पखेरु उड़ गए, जब वो when he has died, the process of investigation has started. उसके बाद इन्वेस्टिगेशन का प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ. और हद तो तब हो गई भाइयों, दोस्तों, फ्रेंड्स. एंड लास्ट ऑफ ऑल, एक्यूजेशन. और लास्ट में उस पर इल्जाम लगाया गया. जनरली क्या होता है, पहले सपोज कीजिए धोखा, किसी ने चोरी, बैंक रॉबरी की, तो उस पर इल्ज़ाम लगा, उसके बाद इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुआ, तहकीकात हुई उसकी, एंड इफ ही वॉज फाउंड गिल्टी ही विल बी इम्प्रिजन्ड और ही विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड, यानी कि सजा सुनाई गई उसको, जो कुछ भी हुआ सो ही हुआ। यहाँ जस्ट उल्टा, पहले उसको सजा सुना दी गई, जेल में डाल दिया गया, फांसी पर लटका दिया गया, और उसके बाद इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हुआ कि यह जो सजा इसको दी गई है किस आधार पर दी गई है, काउज क्या था, व्हाट वाज द काउज, एंड एट लास्ट ही वॉज एक्यूज्ड, उस पर दोषारोपण हुआ, यानी जिस दोषारोपण का इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुआ वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन पहले हो गया, दोषारोपण बाद में हुआ, और जिस दोष और इन्वेस्टिगेशन के आधार पर सजा सुना दी गई वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन सजा सुनाने के बाद हुआ। दिस इज योर एंटी क्लाइमैक्स। So dear students, that's all for today, and once again the same thing I want to repeat. Go on preparing yourself for the coming examination. Save yourself from the pandemic. At presently we are fighting with, go or adopt all the safety measures, try to help the needy, because if you help the needy you will feel very happy, it will provide you pleasure, happiness. Dear students, happiness is not bought, it can't be purchased, it can't be gifted, it can't be handed over. It has its origin in mind. If mind is at peace, we will have happiness, and the peace of mind comes to us when we do something for the needy, for the others. If we try to make others laugh, naturally that laughter of his face will play upon our face also. Thank you for today. Thank you for bearing me for such a long time. Thank you. God bless you all.